Hey, welcome back. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. It feels like it's been a decade since. I know it's probably feeling that way for Rasa, like, oh man, I have to come back and sit next to this guy and talk golf. But hey, the sport is back officially with the Tournament of Champions, and so are we. Putting for dough, Ben Rasa, myself, Eytan, Shander. We appreciate you rolling with us here on the Odd Shopper channel. We don't ask much. Thumbs up, subscribe. We'll tell you about a couple of cool offers, including what's going on with DK. All of that aside, Ben Rasa, we are back.
We are back. Golf is back. It does feel like it was quite a while. You know, we finished the season, and I figured that was a fun experiment. We'll never do this again. But the people have demanded that Putting for Dough comes back, and it is here. I know a lot of you, since you have joined the channel, there hasn't been golf because we got a lot of new faces in there. So welcome to Putting for Dough. PGA, a lot of money out there, and we're really excited. I know we're just getting warmed up, and it's a long season. But man, does it feel good to have the opportunity to turn just a couple dollars into a lot of money. And that's what PGA is all about. Big time upside when you play outrights.
Yeah, and I think there are a couple of things real quick about the show and about the strategies and things that get brought up on here. We definitely balance as much as we can, just having fun because the game requires that, just like it does in real life. You can't take it too seriously. But I think there are a lot of learning strategies here that can be applied to golf week to week. It's not just, like Billy Horschel at 60-1. It's approaching and understanding value and shopping and finding prices that make sense versus the field, not necessarily just versus the course. So I've learned a lot as far as how you see the game from a value standpoint. And I think coming into our second season here, as you mentioned, anybody that's new to the show is definitely going to get something, take away that right away.
Absolutely. It's a little different, you know, here at Odd Shopper. And if you bet sports, most likely, even if you're betting parlays, you know, 5-1, 6-1, like, you know, you're not going to hit them that often, but you may hit a couple in a week and you're trying to stay afloat. It's a nice bankroll boost. When we're talking about golf, you really got to realize that a couple winners, maybe even one outright, can make the whole year. I mean, you're talking 50, 60, 100-1 sometimes. So within that, we talk a lot about this show. How can we put money towards those guys knowing we're probably going to lose those bets each week while still building the bankroll? And that's where we're going to get into as the season progresses. Top 20s, top 40s, maybe some head-to-heads, other ways to cash tickets while we still swing for the fences. And now this week, of course, it's a little different, but I'm so excited with what you've brought to the table and just everyone in the PGA streets on Odd Shopper, just different ways to build your card. And it's going to be an awesome 2023 with all the new opportunities that the PGA has provided. Some big money up for grabs this year. Yeah,
and I'm a little disappointed because I can't hit you right away with the very first tournament, since the Tournament of Champions features now a couple of extra guys. Normally it was just you had to win on 2022, but the 39-man field now, the top 30 from last year's final in the FedEx are allowed in. No Rory, we knew that. No Shane Lowry, so those two are out. But look, it's like a 41-man field here, right? Or so, 40-plus man field. I can't hit you with any shenanigans week one. I have to wait in order to hit you with a guy that you have to look up to see if he even is in the tournament.
Yeah, no, we're all thankful for that. Even people that are just joining the show are very thankful.
Yes, they are.
And this is different, truly. Normally, we're talking about 140, 150 golfers, and we're talking about, can they make that cut, you know, at the end of Friday? This is different. This is a Tournament of Champions field, much smaller. There is no cut. It's the first event. Let's start talking about it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the first event in quite a while. Guys have been enjoying their holidays. Some people have newborns, you know, they got married, all what life is all about. So we don't know where they've been playing, if they've been playing at all. And that's just that added element. But nevertheless, we're in Hawaii. We're at the TOC. We got a small field with a non-cut. And with that, as you'll see in some time very shortly, the odds are kind of reflective of what the field looks like.
The course, playing the course, the manner in which you can win is all going to come out, and that's part of what we do in the top tier. So let's look at the field itself and some areas that we can. But look, we told everybody at the start, I don't want to go any longer without paying this off here. Free money
Yes.
is about. So you may be new to the channel. You may simply be new to the show. You may be new to DraftKings. You haven't signed up at DraftKings. And some of it is you're just stuck on one book and you only bet on one book. I have plenty of people here in PA that I've converted to DK because that's how they were. Some of you are just like, look, I'm not going to do anything until you give me something. I can't just do it without something, some sort of incentive, right? Ben's that way. I'm that way. You're that way. Chris, our producer, we're human beings. So we're going to give you $200 in free bets just for taking 90 seconds out of your life, clicking on a link below, signing up on DraftKings, linking an account, could be your bank account, PayPal, what have you, depositing $5, and then betting that $5 on anything. If you want to bet it on a night in the NFL, a night in the NBA, follow Ben Rasa as far as what he's looking at in college hoops. It doesn't matter because it doesn't even need to hit. You're going to get $200 in free bets right back into your account. We'll tell you how you can use all that, but this is the easiest way, Ben, we can build a bankroll for somebody new on DraftKings.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We're all trying to get the edge on the books. We are trying to find these little edges and exploit and say, I'm going to put my money down on a team, on a player, and hopefully win a bet. So when they're telling you, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, here's $200. I mean, come on now. It's like any sports analogy. You got to take the layups. You got to take the dunks. It's hard. Betting is difficult, and getting a extra couple $100 can change the whole season. I know a lot of you watching this said, I already did this, and it's been awesome. We've got so many people that have responded in Discord. Hey, I got my $200 and I took a chance on something I never would have bet. And now, I had that opportunity, win or lose. But yeah, 5 into 200, no brainer. What a good way to get the golf season started.
John Rahm is right there at the top of the leaderboard with odds. He's also, I would think, motivated after coming up short and coming back with, it wouldn't be revenge, but just motivation to win this thing. Kind of like the Utah of PGA golfers, if you will. I saw that, right? Chris, okay. You saw that too, right? The react. Ben gave me a little, okay.
Maybe.
Like coming back and trying to fix a wrong and winning this thing. We can't take John Rahm because the odds, as you referenced, reflect not only a short field, but him being the odds-on favorite. But we do have a couple of areas of maneuverability, Ben, at the top. Why don't you kick things off?
Yeah, I mean, listen, John Rahm, he's the favorite. He should be the favorite. I see plus 650 over on DraftKings right now to hoist this trophy. He's obviously played, and he'll be playing in the Tournament of Champions for many, many, many years to come, because he's going to be racking up victories in the majority of these years. I'm just traditionally going to look to beat a guy like that, because if he doesn't win, the rest of the board is pretty favorable. I'm not going to lie. And even a guy sitting right next to him, kind of in the odds, Justin Thomas is 9-1. That may not feel like a big difference, but it is. That's a significantly better price. And JT is someone who, I mean, when he gets going, who can stop him? He destroys these type of courses. He can go crazy low. We've seen it. He's got the par fives to work with. Obviously a proven winner at TOC multiple times. Justin Thomas comes ready to play. This time of the year, we've seen a lot of success from him in January. I'm going to get my card started with, I think, a very popular name, but a 9-1 Justin Thomas, I think, is worthwhile.
The no cut element seems to work so well for him in these top heavy fields. And I wonder, Ben, how much of it is, you can take chances. You can be super aggressive on day 2, like that Friday where maybe you're playing a little more defensive golf to make a cut, to kind of hover. You can be aggressive, even come out on day 1, but you don't have that area really towards the end of the second day if you're hovering around a cut or really can't afford. He seems to thrive with that. So I wonder if it's just taking advantage of aggression, but you mentioned the course fit as well. Love that. And you found some pretty good value there.
Yeah, I mean, and the last thing I'll say, and then I want to hear where you're going. Justin Thomas has proven it's not all seamless, but he goes to places and he wins, and then he wins again. Double winners, CIMB Classic twice, CJ Cup twice, PGA Championships, Tournament of Champions, St. Jude. Like, I'm not even saying these are all the same venues. I'm not. Like, it's just the concept, though, when he gets to places, time of the year, things like that, and he's comfortable, he seems to be able to manufacture the same type of thing over and over. And I even in majors, Obviously, like I said, it's not like he's won Augusta twice just yet, or even once. But I really like that with him at TOC. So that is where I was drawn to immediately.
Do you have anybody else you want to mention before we hit mine?
I just want to say real quick, a lot of people, including me, think that Tony Finau can really take that jump this year. He showed the flashes that he can win, obviously rattled off multiple wins back to, 3M and Rocket Mortgage, Houston in the swing. This guy looks like he's on the cusp of saying, I'm an elite winner on tour, not just an elite player. 14-1. The way Tony Finau has been playing, there's not a hotter golfer on the planet. When we left PGA, I have no problem saying I'm going to continue to buy on him all the way through in 2023.
Are you concerned that he doesn't have the course history here versus the fact that he's just been on an absolute tear in general?
So it's obviously something that maybe is a little concerning, but I think there's a reasonable question to say, is Tony Finau different right now than we've ever seen him? And is that really worth paying for? Because when I look at this course, I mean, it's not a torture chamber. It's super easy. Yeah. It's very attackable. Tony Finau should feast just like all these guys.
And you should be in the 30s, I think, in order to be a comfortable winner. Probably win, scrape out somewhere in like the high 20s.
It's going to be, birdies will be flying.
Yes. And let's talk about that, because I look at a fit here for a guy like Viktor Hovland, where I found it 21-1. And again, you shop. But now all of a sudden, when you start to look at where he is at 21-1, where if you shop that number, it makes a little more sense, but you don't need that as much. The reality is, you hinted, look, you have a lot of par fives. These par fives roll downhill. These par fives are not covered with a lot of hazard trees, etc. You can spray and pray. And if you have length as well as enough controllable distance, right, you're going to thrive here, especially length on your second shots. And that's why you score so easily at this tournament, because of the easier par fives. Look, I'm going to take a guy who I'm basically golden with until he gets around the green, and really on the green more so than anything else. But again, Ben, if you're getting comfortably within 10 to 15 feet for an eagle putt, I'll take my chances that Hovland is at least scoring on most, if not all, of these par fives. So I'll take the distance. I'll take the controllable distance. I'll even take that second shot distance. It's just, scramble a little bit and putt, and this guy wins the event.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Viktor, we saw him, hang out with Tiger, getting it done at the Hero. This is a guy that I think has real questions to answer around the green in the biggest events in the world. The Tournament of Champions is not that. You're not worried about scrambling. The greens and regulation percentage is sky high here. His combination of accuracy and distance is Rory-esque off the tee. You can find north of 20. You mentioned shopping that number. So you're in a different range than me. I think it's pretty clear, and I think you'd agree my guys are more likely to win. But if your guy wins for your top tier, you're getting a significantly better payout than I am.
Yeah, and okay, absolutely. I like my chances with Hovland versus Finau, but JT is not a guy that I would put up head to head.
I mean, I have to assume that if JT was sitting at the exact same odds as Hovland and you could only bet one.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
I'm just saying that's all about the number.
Okay. That's fair. That's how you put it that way. Like, somebody's getting fired for hanging 21-1 for Justin Thomas.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
just trying to be clear.
Now let's move to the mid-range, where it gets a little more difficult here in the sense of trying to find value. And maybe it is course history. Maybe it is matching up. I know you have a couple of names, one that I absolutely love, another that I'm just going to sit back. Let's start with that one, and you can work chronologically, right, left to right. The first one is the one that I'm just going to sit back and listen. I don't have any judgment on. I just want to sit back and hear your thoughts on this guy.
Yeah, when I have two guys, and I knew which one fit into each category, just based on their names. The first one, which you're going to be certainly sitting back and listening, is Jordan Spieth. Yep. And he's 28-1 right now on DraftKings. It's pretty simple. And in a tournament like this, there's always a chance that a guy just gets going on the greens. And we've seen Jordan Spieth do just that at this type of event before. And when he rolls it like that, 6, 7, 8 strokes gained putting, he can do anything. His issues off the tee can be masked because it's very generous here. And I just think that Spieth is more of an unknown right now in general. What kind of year are we going to get from him? I don't know. But at 28-1 in a short field, he was a name that piqued my interest. And then I'm just going to throw out your boy before you can.
Let's do it.
In Max Homa, 30-1. Another guy that I think a lot of people, he's got the baby swag going right now. Love Max Homa just in life. He's a proven winner on tour. He gained strokes in all the categories. And it really does seem, I know this is somewhat anecdotal, when he's there, he's ready to go. He comes to play and win on the tour. So I know he doesn't have a ton of experience at TOC, but I believe he will be ready to play. And I'll take him at 30-1 in any small field against anyone in the world right now.
So first off, you never have to appeal.
You love that guy.
I mean, this is like your Aaron Wise or there are a couple of other guys, right? Postman, maybe, like all wrapped up in one, to where you talk Max Homa, I'm in. 30-1 is great because the field and where he is to the field, I don't think is truly reflected in a 30-1. On his best day, he's much better than a 30-1. He doesn't have the history here. If that's factored in, that's fine. But like, I like him in the same category as some of these guys in the 20-1 range. Sung Jae, Sam Burns, even Cam Young, who can fire rockets off the tee. But you're getting Homa, I think, at a really good price. Spieth, I don't have any pushback on Spieth. I think you sold me on him, and it makes a lot of sense as far as how you like the fit here. I'm going to go same end, but almost 180 means on my 30-1 mid-range guy, and that's Matsuyama. That's a guy who has proven history at TOC, who has beaten the top fields when he's on. Now, we know that through 2017, 18 to where we are now, there's been injury, right? There's been setback, but it's not like he's off the face of the earth either, Ben. He has won. He has played some competitive winning golf between that time as well. So I'm looking at him as a long shot with course history that, if healthy, now all of a sudden, similar to Max Homa, if he's on with knowledge of this course, can be a little bit better than a 30-1.
Hideki is a true unknown. He might not be Hideki at this point, or maybe all year. Like, injuries are a serious thing. If he is, the numbers you're going to get with him early in the year are all going to look back and say, wow, we missed potentially really good opportunities, because Hideki's a world-class ball striker. Now, he can't putt to save his life at times, and I vaguely, or I shouldn't say vaguely, distinctly remember last year targeting him in this tournament, and he was unable to do much of anything last time we saw him at TOC. He had the nice minus 9.7 strokes gained putting. Brutal. In early 2021 for him last appearance here. So that's what happens sometimes. You take the good with the bad. Hideki is a true wild card right now because of the injury situation, and because most of his history at this course is from almost half a decade ago at this point.
I get it. There's risk, and I think you're right, where it's trying to get ahead of something.
Risk is good. Risk is always a good thing in the outright market.
Yeah, and I think that's a good transition into what we're doing, part of what we're doing here on the Discord, giving you an opportunity to jump in on our premium insider access. We're going to give you a first free week just for being a part of it, but you're getting conversation, you're getting insight. And there are plenty of times in which somebody asks me a question, hey, what do you think of this? And I'll give you where I'm going, and kind of, it's not a pick, but it's to explain the mentality of it. Anything from bankroll to CLV to picks in between. And I'm tagging you. It's a conversation, and we get into each other's minds now, and you get to understand why something is said on a show that maybe we don't have the time to express. Oh, by the way, I don't want to bury the lead here. We are firing out play after play after play. So you're getting a ton of that, but there's also the access. And that's the key word here, which is a conversation. Look, we had a guy, I got to give a shout out. I'm sure he's on your page as well. Harambe Slayer. This cat found on DK, he found a Jordan Mason, right? Touchdown last night with the Raiders, like 5,000 points better than any other book. So it's a community of finding stuff and giving stuff out. That's what makes this thing work. And your first,
that's the word I always go to, is community. I love doing these videos. I love Odd Chopper YouTube. We have such a great group, but we put out the video and then crazy shit happens and we can't come back and film a new video. And I have a million people all the time that says, did you change your mindset on this team at halftime? Well, if you want to know the answers to that stuff, Discord is where you're at. We're in there together. When the game kicks off, it doesn't stop in Discord. When we're on, the 10th hole and we're sweating out what's going to be Justin Thomas probably,
yep,
we can say, man, I don't like the way he looks. I'm going to live bet someone else. That's just the beauty of building the community together. And it's not just us, it's everyone working together to beat the book. So if you want to be just a part of something cool and check it out, come in for the week. You've lost nothing if you don't like it. You sign up for the week and hopefully you stay for a really long time.
Just looking at this here yesterday, Sunday, when we were doing this under.
Had a good Sunday, a little 3-1 action in the NFL. How about that?
Nice, not bad, not bad. I had to put that under 52.5 Seattle live play, so you're getting live stuff too, as you mentioned. All right, I don't have. You're more important here, but I don't want to force something here, and I was tempted. I truly was tempted to hit you with Chad Ramey or maybe like Luke List, something like that. But no, that's nonsense. You actually have found one guy who I don't know if I'm going to tail outright, but I did place, as soon as I saw you put him in there, I did place him on a top 20. But look, this is difficult finding long range guys. And I'm sorry, Corey Connors is not a 45-1 long shot. What are you doing here?
Well, he's close to his odds, 45-1. I mean, it's a 40-man field. What are we doing? And he can't putt.
He's barely mid-range, 45-1.
Well, you want me to take like Ryan Brem, 600-1. I don't even know why he's in the tournament. Obviously, he won somewhere.
You actually found a really good one, though. But I didn't want the Corey Connors like backdoor cover of a long range one to overshadow the one lone long range play that I actually think makes the most sense, unless you're going to go Postman here, which I don't think you are.
I do think that, shout out to JT Poston, I took him in my season long draft, so he's on the team for Team Ben Rasa.
Beauty.
It's always a stretch to ask someone down here to win the golf tournament against the best in the world. Someone like Trey Mullinax, who you're alluding to, is sitting 100-1. I think that's really good value. I don't think Trey Mullinax is going to win the Tournament of Champions, obviously. But when you're talking about a guy that maybe could hang around, he's a great scorer. We've seen him in the swing season as well. I think you could do worse than that. Fourth at Houston. Obviously, he won to get into this event during the year. Elite off the tee player at times. The ball striking can be good, and the putting is very fluky. That's what we want. So again, I think the prudent move is what you said, which is let's save the long range guys for a 150-man field where we have dozens of options. But if you're looking for someone at the bottom to maybe find themselves, hanging around the weekend, I think Trey Mullinax could in fact do that.
All right, let's wrap it up here. Our final card. And again, we do this early in the week for your benefit out there. So as Ben mentioned, things change. Even in like a small field, things change. A guy could leave, whatever, the weather, all of these things are a factor. So that's why we're not giving you as far as, first round leader, things to that level. But these are our heavy leans that will wrap up in our final card. Take it away.
Yeah, I just want to say very quickly again, if you're new to golf, we got a lot more intricate bets during the season that you can't do for a 40-man field. I can't give you a top 40 because any idiot can do that. There's only 40 people.
Right.
In a normal week, we have some really cool things that I can't wait to show you guys if you're tuning in for the first time. But this week, I'm going to keep it super simple. We're warming up to the year. Give me JT up top. Give me a guy like Jordan Spieth in that mid-range, and Max Homa is another name. I think if you play just a couple guys like that, there's a very good chance you have a sweat on the weekend to get the year started.
I'm just going to keep it simple here. The Hovland ladder, right? Win, top 5, top 10, and keep it at that. That's all plus money. Smaller units, right, on the top 2. And I just ran top 20s for JT, not top JT, but bottom JT and Mullinax. Oh, I think both have a good shot without a cut here to finish top 20. So I'll take those and formulate top 20 plays for me, and that will be it.
Yeah, like I said, just a little appetizer.
Yeah, we'll be here all year. I can't wait, man.
I love, again, it is so much fun. If you have not bet golf, I know you may say golf sucks, it's boring. I'm not a huge golf guy myself, and I have gotten into it so much. What a great sweat. A lot of money up for grabs. Just a really cool sport in the gambling, DFS, betting worlds.
Awesome. We're here each and every week, so we appreciate you rolling with us. Again, thumbs up, subscribe. We have one full free week for you on our Discord. There's a link below. And a quick reminder on the way out, $5 into $200 in free bets on DraftKings just for signing up, taking 90 seconds out of your life, signing up, linking an account, depositing $5, and betting it on anything. It doesn't even matter if it hits. You're going to get $200 right back in free bets. For Ben Rasa, Chris producing, I'm Eytan. We'll see you next week. Hit them straight. Let's cash some tickets.